Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I know that it's been a long time since I've uploaded a video simply because there were a lot of things going on. If you work in the NHS, then you will know that this is the time period of changeover, which is ironically the topic of today's video. I am going to be talking about how to settle into a new environment, what are the things that you can do to adjust in a new workplace and kind of get settled in terms of professional along with some mental health tips. I think it's a very difficult time when you go into a new environment, and I thought that I would talk about that in today's video. I have a few other videos lined up that I was quite more excited about to upload and share. That's why it took me so long to edit, but I figured that this would be a better video for this time period because this is changeover week and I am sure that not everybody has settled in yet. So I hope that you guys like the video and this helps you out. So let's move on to the video. It's a very impromptu video because I was thinking about the time period when I moved countries and started working in the NHS. And I realized the things that I had done at that point to settle into the NHS. And why I was thinking about that period is because I was talking to some of my colleagues and other people who have been through the changeover and how they're struggling. I'm struggling as well. So I feel like everybody goes through the same things. And then we were all discussing different kinds of tips and advices that we do to settle into a new place, and I thought I'd make a video about it and share it with you guys. So if any of you people are going through the same time period or are new to the NHS, then this video might be helpful to you. I think the first thing that you should be doing is knowing where you're going and preparing for it. Depending on whatever department you are joining, everything is going to be different. It takes a bit of time to adjust with the IT systems and the logins and the emails and all of those things. But what you can do and actually prepare for while this work period is going, the first 2 weeks, would be to brush up on the things that you require. Say, for example, if you're working in TNO, then read a bit about anatomy, some fractures, basic knowledge about things, just so that when you start working, you have some of the jargon in place, some vocabularies there, so you can make a better impression on everybody around you that you're a good doctor, which you are. You don't need to prove it. Taking the pressure off. You are a doctor, you've proved it, you're in training, you're changing over, so that's sorted. But this is only for you to be more confident from the inside if you read up a little bit about whatever department you're joining in. Unless it's something very niche such as anesthetics and you know nothing about it, which is absolutely fine. The consultants know that. But if you're going to another generic kind of a department like medicine, ED, trauma and orthopedics, even surgery, I would suggest brushing up a little bit, knowing a little bit about your medical knowledge just to help you transitioning in. Second thing I would say would be to actually vocalize whatever you're struggling with. So say, for example, your logins aren't working. Don't just sit there and be like, oh God, my login is not working again. Tell this to somebody, especially somebody in charge. Let them know that you're not slow, you're not lurking around, you're not working. It's simply because the IT system has failed you, and NHS computers are very slow. So whoever finds out this is your problem will understand what you're going through. So make sure you vocalize whatever you're feeling and whatever you're struggling with in terms of IT or even professional help if you require it. In the new time period, I know I just said to create a good impression, but asking a lot of questions, asking for guidance, being patient safe is more important and leaves a really good impression because it shows that you know your limits and you are eager to learn and basically adapt to the new environment. So you wouldn't be considered, it won't be a negative impression, so that wouldn't affect your impression at all. Next thing I would say is something that I learned in my F1. Find a mate and find a mentor. Two completely different things, but they're really, really important because what I felt like now that I was talking about, the struggles we were going through as colleagues, is I found a really good friend in my F1 year, which is house job in my country. and I think she struggled and I struggled and we're both struggling. So you really need somebody to vent out it. Like, you want somebody you can vent out with. And that's really so yeah, my next tip would be to find somebody you can talk to about the struggles you're going through. Obviously in the first week it's going to be hard. You have to gauge new people. If you know something from, someone from previous rotations, that's brilliant. If you don't, just try to understand whoever gels with your personality and make friends. My friendship with my friend was instant at that time. And yeah, we then stayed together just to vent out, even in different departments. We used to meet up for lunch, and that was really helpful. The next thing was finding a mentor. That's also very important. So if you see a registrar because I'm in core training, so if you see a registrar, anyone senior to you feel like is a knowledgeable person who's humble enough to adopt you and guide you, I would suggest go for it. Make friends with them, ask for help. As I said already earlier, ask for questions. You'll find out whoever answers your questions the most actively and likes to teach the best would be the person you don't naturally go for other things as well. So yeah, find a person to vent out with, somebody to struggle and cry with, and that's your crying buddy. That's what I told all of my F1s as well. Find a crying buddy. It doesn't matter where they're from, which department they belong to, doesn't matter. As long as you can meet up for lunch or coffee and you can cry out, you're sorted on that road. And then the next thing is to find a mentor, which is also very important because they know the ropes. They're in the department, they've been there long, they know what they're doing. So they will teach you how to learn the new environment in a way that you might struggle for a month for. So if you find a mentor, maybe a week or two, and you'll settle in. That's how I settled in the NHS. I found somebody really nice, very helpful senior, and they helped me settle in the NHS, which was very great. Another thing is learning the culture. So every department is different, everything has different vibes, and this will take you around a week to understand. Different consultants have different mindsets. They have different ways to treat other human beings. So you will see that some of them are very friendly, some of them are very obnoxious, some are straight up really arrogant, and you have to then boost their ego. So this is like a bunch of type of consultants you'll find, and whoever is in charge that day, whoever consultant or nurse in charge is that day, you will have to match their personalities. So every single day is going to be a new day until you find and meet all of the different people who can be in charge of the department, which can be long if you're working in a very big hospital like I am right now. But every single day, if you find there's somebody new there, then completely wipe out how you were working and see how they work, and then try to match up what they're doing. Because if you stand out too much, or if you kind of clash with what they do, then you won't be leaving a good impression. You'll be stressed, they won't be supportive, and you don't want that. In terms of supportive, you have to be a team player. So if you're starting with new colleagues, be supportive, be encouraging, like just be a part of the team. Don't sit out and eat out and just isolate yourself. Try to be with them, try to talk to them. I'm a huge introvert. It's very hard for me to talk to new people. It's very hard for me to talk to a camera, hence why I have a YouTube channel. But it's very hard for me to talk to new people in person. So for me, I want to talk to people. I want to create new relationships, and that is the tip. But another tip that I would just add in here is, if you aren't able to do that because you're a huge introvert or you're just a shy person, then the next thing would be to bake. And I'm putting in this video is because that has helped me so much in making new friends, in making new relationships, in making good colleagueships as well. Because not everybody's going to be your friend, but you want to have a good, positive relationship with wherever you're working. And baking really helped me. Everybody in the NHS likes cakes. So I would bring a cake and everybody would know who I am. And then they would just come and talk to me and just talk about the cake. Like, oh, it was delicious, thank you so much. That's fine. That's all you need to do. You don't have a big, huge conversation, because that's something not I can achieve. If you can, that's brilliant. If the ice is broken, that's amazing. But baking really helps. It really generates a conversation. It breaks the ice. It makes you settle in very faster than you would have if you would just isolate yourself. So I would suggest, if you don't know how to bake, you could just bring a cake, or cookies, or like something to just kind of socialize with people. My language of socialization is food. I would share food with people to socialize with them. Talking is hard for me. So if you are the same, or if you feel like it's an easier option, it's a good idea, then you can just buy a cake and buy some sweets and just put them in the department common place, and you wouldn't believe the amount of positivity that would increase in your team, and then the department itself would be really, really happy that day. And you want that in your initial period when people don't know you. You want that. So yeah, I think this is one of the best in the entire video, in my opinion. Another thing that I was talking to one of my colleagues, and she mentioned, and I found that was really helpful, and I'm including in this video simply because of that reason, is don't compare other rotations, because every single rotation is going to be different. Every single rotations are meant for you to be learning new things from. So I believe that don't compare from whatever your previous rotation was. My first ever department I worked in was very mixed. My opinions were very mixed about the entire country, NHS, human beings, because I was very young and I didn't really understand a lot of things humanity-wise. Then I went to my new department and they were amazing. They just adopted me as a baby and taught me everything I know right now. And then, you just keep changing and changing and changing, and you keep going through different departments. And if you keep comparing, then you'll never be happy. If you go into, like, say, for example, a toxic environment, those do exist, or somewhere very, very supportive, then you'll be thinking, oh, you know what, my previous one wasn't that great. So don't do that, because it's not good for your mental health. And in the long run, you'll rotate in so many departments that it's just going to confuse you for everything. So I would suggest just don't compare and just move on. It's okay. It's going to be fine. Another tip I would say is just accept what's happening. Now, not everything is going to be fine. As I said, when you learn the culture, you'll find out that some things you don't agree with. Some things are quite toxic. Some things are quite hostile. Some things are actually very great. So you might be having a, eeny-meeny relationship with the new department. If you stick on and focus on the negatives only, you would be very upset, you would get depressed, and you won't survive in the rotation. You might want to quit. And seeing that people are quitting a lot in the NHS right now, I am a huge believer of being a doctor. I love being a doctor, so I would want you to share this video so that people stop quitting. I don't know if people stop quitting, but I want that. So yeah, don't do that. Don't focus on the negatives. Focus on the positives. Even if you save one patient a day, even if you help one patient a day, even if a colleague smiled at you, that's a great thing. It's a positive thing. Think about that. Don't think about the negatives. The more you focus on the negatives, the more your life's going to become really, really hard. And I said, the toxicity just builds up in you, and you don't want that. So don't try to focus on the negative things. Focus only on the positive things. Talking about this, I would suggest smiling. I know we all wear masks now, and considering my smile doesn't even move my forehead, and I'll do an exhibit right now, it doesn't move my forehead. So what I do is close my eyes when I'm smiling inside my mask, so the other person knows that I'm smiling. Just, nodding, smiling, all of those things are really helpful for your colleagues, your teammates, nurses, HCAs, any person you meet in the hospital. When you smile at them, they will feel happy, and it'll make you feel happy as well, because a return smile releases endorphins. So yeah, try to smile, even if your day is going crap, which it would, because it's the new week. But do try to do that. It's really, really nice. It really changes other people's days as well. It'll make you feel better too. And lastly, I would say, don't get overwhelmed. I know it sounds very generic as an advice, because you're completely allowed to be overwhelmed. In fact, if you want to cry, go ahead, do it. But by overwhelmed, I mean don't rethink and overthink the days again and again. If one day is gone, you don't like the rotation, absolutely fine. It's -1 from the next however months of your rotation you have left. Just don't get overwhelmed. And as usual, in the end of these kind of videos, I always say, if you feel like you're suicidal, if you feel like you want to harm yourself, if you feel that you're very low, you're depressed, you're anxious, you're having panic attacks, or if you feel you're eating less or eating more, and you've stopped taking care of yourself, then please get professional help. Take care of your body. I always say exercise is really great. So yeah, take care of your body. But if you feel like you can't even do that, you just want to talk to somebody, you can always leave a comment down below, inbox me. I've got my Instagrams down below as well. If you want to seek professional help, please do. Don't hurt yourself. You are a valuable part of the NHS. We need you, and I hope that this video helps you. So yeah, I hope that you guys have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.